Good afternoon to all my wonderful viewers out there. Yes, today is the day. It is my birthday, May the 9th, and welcome back to another episode of Sneaker Talk, where we talk about all the latest upcoming releases, all the latest leaked sneaker leaks, and just sneakers in general. Now, I know it's my birthday, but I still wanted to make a video today. I've actually got 2 videos planned for today. I know, even on my birthday, the grind don't stop. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different to a normal Sneaker Talk video, though. Instead of talking about a latest upcoming release or a sneaker leak or something like that, it's actually going to be talking about a colorway for the Air Jordan 1 that I designed, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Of course, right? If Danyal was gonna do his own version of a sneaker colorway, of course it's on the Jordan 1. Well, yes, it is very typical of me, but honestly, guys, it was the first sneaker that got me into the sneaker culture like 5 years ago. My mate Dorian shared with me all the OG colorways of the Jordan 1, and a lot of them really took my fancy. And I started off collecting Jordans by collecting the UNCs, one of the OG colorways from 1985, this colorway here. And from then on, I just really loved the shoe and its colorways. So what did I do, and how did I start off with making my own colorway for the Jordan 1, or at least making my own, I don't even know if I can call it a colorway. I'm just going to call it my own version, I suppose. What inspired me to, or encouraged me to definitely pick the Jordan 1, the Jordan 1 in general, to do my own colorway on, was actually a sneaker page called Trainer Spotting. I don't know if you guys follow it. It's a very, very good Instagram page that you should definitely follow. What it does is Trainer Spotting posts photos of famous icons over the years. That could be, music artists, street artists, TV stars, just icons over various decades wearing famous sneakers. And that's where my inspiration began. That's where I first got the idea of doing my own colorway of the Jordan 1. And it actually inspired me to do a variant of the Chicago colorway. I am an absolute massive fan of the Chicago colorway. I think it's the best colorway of the Jordan 1. This is the 2015 retro here, and it's easily my favorite Jordan 1. It's just perfect. There were only tiny little minor changes I would make to this shoe to make it literally perfect. It is just absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this shoe. And as I mentioned, this Trainer Spotting page really encouraged me to try and do an alternate version of the Jordan 1 Chicago's. How they did that is that the Trainer Spotting page kept posting images of a contemporary street artist that he goes by the name Keith Haring. I didn't know who he was at the time that Trainer Spotting kept posting about him. This was, I think, about over 6 months ago. It was a long time ago that they were posting about Keith Haring. I honestly can't remember the exact date, but yeah, I didn't know who he was. But the actual page kept doing posts about him wearing the iconic Jordan 1 Chicago's. And that got me diving into him. That got me looking into Keith's work and seeing what he was all about. And I've watched over those months from when I initially saw these posts by Keith, I had a look into his work and got to learn more about him, watched a couple interviews with him. He seemed like a really, really cool guy. And he was obviously very well recognized and very well loved in the street and contemporary art community. I mean, he literally got to paint Grace Jones. I mean, is that not just like a huge monumental moment in anyone's career, let alone an artist's career? Like, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty wild. And he did things like painting on the Berlin Wall. He had this amazing art style that looked like minimalist caveman drawings, and the drawings in a way kind of look like the Egyptian hieroglyphics. They were kind of like a alphabet in some way, and from what I was watching in a bunch of interviews and stuff, people actually thought when Keith was, you know, doing these art pieces in subway tunnels in New York City and stuff like that, people thought that it was like a secret language to a secret something or other, like a cult or something like that. But really, it was just a guy that loved doing art and wanted to fill the world with his art. And I don't know, yeah, I really became a fan of Keith over the past 6 months by looking into that kind of stuff, looking into his art, looking into his stuff like that. And the fact that he did all these amazing accomplishments and pieces in 1985 and 1986 while wearing literally my favorite Jordan 1 sneaker started to get me thinking about some things and thinking about doing a custom sneaker that incorporated both Keith's art and the Jordan 1 Chicago's. So that's really what inspired me. It started off with Trainer posting about Keith wearing this shoe while doing some of his most iconic pieces. And that initially lit the spark for me to do a custom colorway for the Air Jordan 1 Chicago's. And I started on this task. I wanted to incorporate Keith's iconic artwork pieces onto the silhouette and colorway that he did so many of those iconic moments in. Now, I am going to share it with you today. I am going to share it with you today, but look out. It is very rough. I am horrible at digital art. I literally did it by hand with my mouse on paint.net. So please, yeah, be ready for that. It's not anything glamorous or wonderful, but I still wanted to share it with you guys. Now, just quite quickly, unfortunately, Keith passed away in 1990, and that means that he would have missed out on the 1994 retro of the Chicago 1. He would have missed out, obviously, on the 2013 retro, the 2015 retro, this one here. So it is kind of sad that he never got to enjoy the sneaker when it got retroed all those years later, but because it's 2020, which marks the 30th anniversary of his passing, it really did inspire me even further to like get this colorway done. I wanted to get this colorway done. So yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd just mention that quite quickly. Sorry to like if you guys didn't know and that's you first learning about Keith and then also hearing that he passed away. But yeah, I just thought I'd also mention that because it is kind of grim, but I felt like it needed to be mentioned as well. So I think that's all I really have to say about my inspirations. I'll sum it up. I went to trainer spotting, saw Keith's work, fell in love with it. He was wearing the Chicago Jordan 1s, the original pairs from 1985 and 1986. So I had a look at his work, went into him further, loved his work, and as of late, I've now tried to make my own custom colorway for the Air Jordan 1 Chicago, inspired by Keith's work. So what we'll do now is we'll head on over to what I've created. I'm going to show you guys the different versions that I've created because I didn't just create one version. I created multiple different versions and everything like that. And hopefully you guys can give me your thoughts and opinions on which version's the better one, which one you'd like, and just your general thoughts and opinions, guys. So let's go have a look at what I've done. And this is version 1, guys. I decided to not do the side with the wings logo as I thought it would just get a little bit muddled up and a little bit complex if I decided to do I tried to do a colorway on the side that had the wings logo on it. So I went with the inner side of the sneaker just to make it a little bit easier to do the art here. Now, what I did is I applied Keith's iconic minimalistic caveman design on the heel panel here, the upper eyelet panel here, and the toe box as well. This is what I dubbed version 1. At the time of making this, when I added these pieces of art to the back of it and the front of it, I just didn't feel like there was enough Keith here. I felt like it still looks too much like a typical Jordan 1 for it to distinguish itself enough from a typical Jordan 1. I felt like it needed a little bit more. But either way, I still saved this as version 1 as some people might really be drawn to just having the designs on the toe box there and on the back here. Some people might not prefer what I do in later versions, which I'll showcase to you as well. But I thought I'd just showcase version 1 here. In order to make this, what I did is I grabbed transparent versions of Keith's work and then applied them to the areas of the sneaker and then rubbed it out on areas that weren't the red panels that I wanted it to go on. As you can see, I've rubbed it out on the black panel here, but it like spills over a little bit here. It spills over a little bit up here onto the black panels. As I said, I'm not the best at digital art. But I tried to do my best yesterday. I had a very short time frame actually to do it. So I came up with this. I applied Keith's artwork to these panels here for version 1, and ideally on version 1 as well, I would like to have this artwork on the outsole as well. I haven't done it on the outsole, but I would like it on the outsole. I don't know if doing it on the full outsole would be a little bit excessive or not. Definitely let me know how you guys would feel about that. I feel like doing it on the pivot circle here, just like one of his little iconic little men, like one of his little dudes here on the pivot circle might be a good idea than leaving the rest of it blank, because there's just already a lot of detail going on in a Jordan 1 outsole where it would be kind of hard to showcase his artwork on the outsole because there's so much going on. And that's why I think the panels of the Jordan 1 is perfect for Keith's artwork as well, because they're kept so minimal. Like there's barely any panels on this shoe at all compared to a lot of other sneakers out there. So it makes it really easy to apply artwork and full over prints than say other sneakers, other modern day sneakers. But yeah, this is version 1, guys. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on version 1, and we'll head over to version 2 now. Now this is version 2, a slight change to version 1. We've obviously got the artwork on the toe box here and the back panels here, but now I've added it to the eyelet panel here. Now I was thinking if with version 2 as well, I would probably add it to the end of this eyelet panel as well. I just haven't done it on the actual piece here, but I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on completing the artwork all the way to the end of the panel here. So version 2 finalized in my view would have the artwork on the outer toe box here, the eyelet panel here, the heel panel here, and this whole eyelet panel here, as well as probably a pivot arm man on the pivot circle down here on the outsole. That would be my ideal version 2. Obviously it features more Keith artwork, and it looks less like the actual Jordan 1 now that it's got more artwork applied to it. Let me know, what do you prefer? Do you prefer version 1, how it was kept a lot more minimal, how it was just this panel, and this panel? Or do you like version 2 where it incorporates the whole front of the shoe and the whole back of the shoe, but not the center of the shoe? What do you prefer, version 1 or version 2? I will move on to the next version, which is obviously version 3. Now, this is probably my favorite version, or at least my favorite version conceptually. It is all the red panels on the sneaker. So every single red panel on the Chicago's covered in Keith's work, covered in his iconic style, all over it. Now, if I was to actually able to access Keith's archives, go through all of his artwork that he did in 85 and 86, I would apply, because see how it's like quite generic Keith work? I would go a step further if I had access to his archives and apply artwork that he made in that period exclusively to this one. So I don't know, this design may have been made in the late 80s, or maybe a little bit earlier than 85, 86. If I was to be able to access Keith archives, I would only grab images from 85 and 86 because they're the years that the Jordan 1s were very popular and released initially, and then I would apply it to it like it is here, all over the red panels, all over the toe box, all over the eyelet panels, and over the heel and up here as well. And also this little section here at the back as well. I would apply it to that as well. I'd put maybe like his famous dog image there or something like that. But either way, yeah, this is my most ideal version. But to me, I felt like Keith's artwork very much stands out with its black bordering. As you can see, his little icons, his little characters have black borders. He usually fills them with a bit of color as well. For me, I felt like version 3 wouldn't stand out and wouldn't work as well on the sneaker unless the panels that I'm putting the artwork on mimicked the actual style of his artwork. So I think if you kind of catch on with what I mean, you'll understand what version 4 looks like. But what we'll do is we'll go have a look at version 4 and I'll showcase you what I mean with a nice little visual image as well. Now, I would just like to apologize for my terrible outline that I did there, but you kind of get what I actually mean now with this image, even though it's very, very horrible. What I've done is I've now applied a black border to all the red panels. I know it looks like I've applied them to the white panels as well, but I've really just done wherever the red meets, I've applied a panel. I know I've done it here in this black area here, but it's basically just to separate all the panels, but it also separates the artwork from clipping into other panels here. So for an example, with the Jordan 1, the first 3 eyelet panels here what's the best word to use? They are separated from the rest of the eyelet panels further up the shoe. And I feel like a black border would really emphasize that by breaking it up there. And I just felt like this complemented Keith's artwork a lot better by having the panels done. And ideally, I would color this outline of the black panel here all the way around, just so it really separates the panel as well. Giving the black border to all the little details on the shoe, I think just complements the artwork a little bit better, but maybe you disagree and maybe you like how subtle and how well it kind of just all molded together without being really highlighted in version 3. Because in version 3, without the black borders, I honestly got to say, it did mold very well into the actual colorway of the shoe. Applying black borders like this does make it very obvious, but either way, that's why I've done all these different versions, because I wanted to showcase to you guys different takes on the actual colorway that I've made here. And that's really all I've got to showcase to you guys with that one. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions on it though. Which version do you prefer? Do you prefer, I think we can actually, yeah, we can go back. Okay, cool. So do you prefer version 1, version 2, version 3, no black borders, or version 4 with all the black borders there just to make it really pop? I don't know. Honestly, give me your thoughts and opinions on which one you prefer. I'm leaning on, I think version 3 looks the best, but version 4 is also really good as well. Honestly, just give me all your thoughts and opinions on which one's your favorite version, and any comments or anything you've got to say about it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or as always, in that comment section below, guys. And that's really it for my first birthday video, guys. I wanted to do something special for the channel, and I wanted to showcase to you guys what I had worked on yesterday, which was a Keith Haring inspired Air Jordan 1 colorway. I thought you guys might enjoy me sharing it with you. Obviously, my dream would to obviously get Jordan Brand to actually make this, but I mean, that's a pipe dream. Unless you guys tweet at Jordan Brand, send it to Jordan Brand, send it to Nike, email it to Nike and everything. It is on my Facebook page and Instagram story highlights if you guys want to actually check it out and send it to people. So if you want to share it around, it's available on all my social medias that are in the description section below. But yeah, ideally I would absolutely love Jordan Brand to make this and have it as a real thing, because I don't know, I really love it. I really love what I've made, and it would be, yeah, it would be a really cool dream to actually make this. And I would love to take this a step further and do it on further OG colorways like the black toes, or maybe even the breads, or the black and white pandas or Oreos, or whatever you want to call them. I would love to do it on all like the OG colorways and stuff like that, and work with that there. But again, that's a pipe dream, you know. That's I doubt that's gonna happen, right? But yeah, okay, in an ideal world, Jordan Brand would release that this year to commemorate 30 years since Keith's passing, and I would just love for it to actually just be released. I would love some of the profits to go towards HIV or AIDS foundation, because unfortunately that is what Keith passed away from. It was complications with that unfortunate disease there, and I reckon this would be a good way to remember him, as he did so many iconic things in his career in this shoe, and I feel like the colorway that I made would memorize him really well with that. I don't know. I have noticed that a lot of people this year in 2020 have been doing a lot of Keith like clothing and stuff, because it's the 30th anniversary of his passing. But I feel like, not to be like my thing's better, but well, sorta, you know, but I'm kind of like, I feel like this is a better way to remember him, but I don't know, maybe that's just because I made it and I'm just like, mine's better. Either way, that's all I really got to say. I've basically rambling on at this point, but yeah, let me know all your thoughts and opinions on the colorway that I made, on Keith's work, on anything that you've got to say about it in the comment section below, guys. That's really it. That's my first attempt ever at making my own colorway, making anything really to do with sneakers. I thought I'd share it with you guys on my birthday today on the channel, and yeah, that's all I really got to say about it, guys. So until the next sneaker video, until the next Keith Haring video, until the next streetwear video, guys, I'll catch you later.